Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south, I'll be spreading out.
All right, what's up, people? Welcome to Business, Funding, and Whiskey. I got Carlos, the credit assassin, here with us today. So, Carlos, introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? Hey, my name is Carlos Estrada Vega. Yes, I'm self-made credit assassin. But the reason being is because I've been able to not only develop a culture around how you should build your business, personal business, but also your business credit. And I want to help you increase or be able to get to where you want to go today, because credit is one of those things that you will need to move forward in life, specifically if you want to do business.
Awesome. So, hey, Carlos, part of the name here is whiskey. So what are you drinking on?
All right, man. So I'm drinking Screwball. Love this one. I tried it the other day. It's a peanut butter whiskey. And I'm actually pouring it in a glass that was made by a couple military members. If you see, it has a bullet encrusted on the glass.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice and, it's cool. So I'm going to try it out. It's the first time I try it out. So, salud.
Hey, salud. All right.
Woo, that's good. Sweet and strong.
Yeah, I'm drinking a little Irish whiskey here. So some green spot, and it definitely hits the spot. So, awesome. Carlos, what is the point of this podcast?
All right, man. So the point of the podcast is we want to start something in which not only we have fun, we want to make this as fun as possible, but we want to help the community. One of the things is my background, all military. I come from a culture of being selfless service. We have a great product, and the only way that I know in which we could provide a great product and show the community what we have is by providing value. So we want to do this as easy as possible, having fun, and for shareable to a lot of people, but we want to bring the best in the industry. So like that, we could share some of the value that they are using in their businesses in order to grow their business, so that I could help you as well.
All right. Yeah. So, the biggest thing that I found out about business credit as being a business owner is I had no idea about it. So for our viewers out there, Carlos, what is business credit?
So business credit, as you say, is completely the opposite of personal credit. So business credit is the essential part. I would say it's about a quarter of everything they have to do with business. And one of the things is completely opposite from personal credit. It not only it helps your business, but you can get higher quality of lines of credit and higher amounts than what you do in your personal. One of the main things that we all do when we start our business, I did it myself. We bootstrap our own business. We use our own savings, personal credit, personal income, because most of us start a business when we're still working somewhere else. And by the time that we want to move forward, we actually have no savings, no credit. And it's because your own personal credit can take you so far. Now, when you actually develop your business credit and you lay the foundation necessary, you create something that's called corporate credit. And when you create corporate credit, the sky's the limit. There's no cap. There is no utilization as what we have in the personal side. That if you go above even 30%, then your credit score start going down and start hurting. In the business side, you can use as much as possible as long as you are responsible, paying everything on time. You have a great credit score.
So Carlos, I want to understand. Well, I understand, but for the people watching this, why is it important? Why shouldn't I just use my personal credit for everything? Why should I even care about business credit?
All right, so you should care about business credit because if you're starting a business, it is a foundation of everything that you want to do. Your personal credit will take you so far. And I'm gonna give you a great example of this. I am a business owner. I have a great credit score, personal credit score. I've been able to acquire more than 65 credit cards over the past 18 months. Now, because of the amount of new open accounts that I have, I can even get new credit. And I have an 838 credit score with no increase, 12% utilization. So if you hear that without knowing the new accounts, you say, oh man, you have amazing credit. But guess what? Even today, every single day. So everything that you're going to hear today or in this channel or in this program is something that I try first. To me, I believe in what's called the law of the pitcher. Leaders go first. They step first. Like, I don't know if you guys seen the movie We Were Soldiers. The colonel.
Okay.
The first thing he says, I'll be the first one off the helicopter and I'll be the last one leaving the Vietnam. And that's what he did. And that's what I believe. Coming from the military, I believe leading from the front. Again, right. And the way that you lead from the front is by doing what you're asking everybody else to do. Because otherwise, you're just taking a stroll. If you have nobody else following you, you're just taking a stroll, just a walk. It's not leading. So, I mean, I love, and you're going to hear me when I talk about things, I just drift to the military side. So reel me back in, okay?
Hey, I got you, Carlos. I got you.
Okay, so what was the question again? You see, I told you, I go back into the military.
Yeah, no, Carlos, you're good. My question to you, and tons of businesses out there alike, you know, why is it even important for me to do this? So, Carlos, for instance, you know, I own a rental property management company. Why should I even care about business credit whatsoever?
All right, so why you should care about business credit, because not only you want your business to grow, you are going to need services, you are going to need some good products from other businesses. And in order to do so, they need to know that you are a legitimate business. Without business credit, they cannot extend those services, they cannot extend those products in order for you to make an income as a business and grow as a business owner. At the end of the day, you started a business was because you want to create income for yourself, you want to create freedom, you want to create more than likely generational wealth. And if you don't take care of that part, your business won't grow. It's like we all have to walk, right? If you only work out on one leg or you walk on one leg, the other one is going to become skinny, right? And you're not going to be able to use it. At the end of the day, it's just going to become a dead weight. And that's the same thing that is going to happen. You are just going to be able to get so far in business if you don't develop your business credit. Now, I've seen a lot of business that are a cash business. And even though they make so much cash, they cannot grow because there are certain things that you need to do. For example, in order to get a property, or if you want to get real estate for your business, you are going to need credit. It's not only your personal credit, especially if you have a big enterprise. Your business credit will be necessary. Yes, you may need to put a 10, 20% because it's a commercial type of deal. But at the end of the day, you still need business credit. And if you only use your personal credit, like I said, it can just take you so far because your business can make so much more money than what you can make. And remember, utilization on both sides works differently. If you go over your 30%, you are going to be affected. And that personal credit is not going to allow you to get that lending that you need for your business. But your business can be at 100% utilization, making the cash flow, paying the bills, and you can still get credit.
So you're saying that on my personal side, right? So I go over 30%, my credit score takes a dip, but I could essentially max out my business cards and it'll have no effect on my business or my business credit at all?
At all. As long as you pay those bills on time. If you pay your bills on time, that's how you pay this and your other scores with Experian, Equifax, Credit Safe, and Dun & Bradstreet, they get graded.
Huh. So, Carlos, you know, you briefly talked about, hey, business credit cards. Everybody knows about business credit cards.
Yes.
What are some other types of funding that businesses can get to help them pay payroll, buy equipment, things of that nature?
So, I mean, equipment finance is one of the biggest ones. You got working capital, you got lines of credit. You also have business credit cards. I mean, in the numerous of those, there's even grants, there's government programs. There are certain programs within the community, depending on what industry you are in. There, I'm telling you, even in our course, we talk about 25 different categories of lending that we could provide for you, especially in the industry that you are in. But that's alone just being talking about in the conventional side. And the unconventional side, I mean, we formed a network of more than 3,000 lenders that can also extend credit. We're talking about credit now, right? So at net 30, net 60, and net 90 is also credit. Because we're talking about you doing business with another business, and that person is or that company is trusting you, and you paying for, let's just say, you have machinery that you needed to buy for your company today, or you needed to have tires put in your truck, and you have a net 30, net 60, and hey, guess what? If you're a truck driver, you know you're gonna be able to make money as long as you actually have a good operation system. And if you can make that money in less than a week or 2 weeks, you're able to pay those bills. Paying that bill on time will help you a lot, because the better you actually take care of these accounts, the more your credit will grow. Those net 30s will raise your credit line. That means that it will help everything along, especially if later on you're trying to go for a conventional loan or even an unconventional loan, and also credit cards.
Mm. So I read a crazy statistic the other day, and it was 1 in 3 businesses make it to 10 years.
Yeah.
So explain to me how that coincides with business credit.
All right. So the way it coincides is, so the statistics usually go be 20% of the businesses won't make it to the third year, 50% just make it to the fifth year, and only 1 out of 3 or 33% will make it all the way to the 10th year. And the reason is that they don't focus on one of the biggest portions, and it gets 33%, 1/3 of your business is your credit. Is the ability of getting funds in order for you to grow and invest back into the business. A lot of the times, something that we don't understand is any business that you are in, people need to know what you do. And most of the money that business owners are able to get usually put it back into the operation and products that they provide. But they never concentrate on one part that is essential, which is marketing. And guess what you could use credit for? Marketing. To market yourself, brand your business in order to bring more clients, and thus creating more revenue, allowing you to grow. This is why only 1 out of 3 make it to the 10th year, because only 1 out of 3 would understand the concept of creating business credit, while the other 2 won't.
Mm. So Carlos, you sound like a highly intelligent guy. How long have you been helping businesses acquire funding?
Man, no more than 2 years. Highly intelligent is been, it's been for a while. We've been helping companies, but the company, the way that I started, the dream that I wanted, it's been about 2 years already. But before that, it was a lot of training, a lot of learning. Don't get me wrong, we had spent almost $1 million in the quality of people that have helped put this company together, the mentors, the coaches. And one thing that I say is that I always preach is, if you want to get somewhere, make sure that you find someone that's been there already, somebody that already walked the path and help you get there. But we've been helping businesses for the past 2 years.
Okay. So this next question here, Carlos, is probably one that I should wait till the end to ask you, but I don't want to wait, man. What's one thing that you've learned while doing all this research, helping out thousands of different companies out there acquire lending, that you want to spread to the masses? What's one thing that you think is so important about business credit that everybody should know?
So the one thing that I seen and I think that everybody should know about business credit is that almost everybody does not know about business credit.
True.
So 1/3, and it goes to tell you. So if the way that our company started was, we used to help a lot of personal business, not personal business, but a personal credit. We created a course that we helped out a lot of our members, and a lot of our members now are prior customers. So what we did is, as we went through customer to customer, one of the common themes was everybody wanted to fix their credit because they wanted to start a business. So you see the theme there, that people, one, they don't know that they can separate their personal credit from the business credit. Starting a business credit doesn't have to affect your personal credit, and using your personal credit can affect your business credit. Because something you got to keep in mind is, in credit is what we call a personal guarantee, or PG. You always hear PG. At the beginning of everything in your business, you will always be what's called a personal guarantor. Now, if you have a good credit score, or a fair credit score, anything between 680 to 700 and above, you may be able to actually get some credit cards, low credit cards for your business, which will allow you to start growing as a business. But again, that can only take you so far. The way that I've seen it is probably no more than $5,000 to $10,000. And again, that in business can go very fast. Between payroll, between marketing, between operations, that could actually be a month and a half of some business. In our business, that could be a week. So what I'm saying is how and why we started this. That was the question again. I love to ramble. What was the question again?
So my question was, what's one thing that you think everybody should know out there?
Okay, guys. The one thing that everybody should know is
I want to know a secret. Come on,
a
Carlos.
secret. Okay. Well, a secret. Oh man, a secret. I mean, I don't make it a secret. I just put it out there. You just learn. I want everybody to learn. But if there was one thing about business credit that I will tell you is, okay, so here we go. But I'll tell you this, right? You could transfer your personal credit cards to your business credit cards as long as you use a lot of those expenses for business. So you could do a balance transfer and helping your business credit card. Your business credit. So that's one thing that you can do that is fair game.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
All right, touche. That was a great secret.
But again, I don't want nothing to be a secret. That's why we put out. If you go through our YouTube channel, through all of the social media, we put a lot of information out there. Now, what we're able to help you and help all our customers, just the way that you're supposed to go about it. I know that when you hear so much information, sometimes it's so much information overload, and I get it. Take the information. If you are able to actually make it work, kudos to you. But allow us to help you no matter what.
All right. So, what would you say to somebody who was like me a year ago? A year ago, I was like, hey, I don't need business credit. I'm fine. My personal credit's great. I don't need it. What would you just say to somebody like that?
Well, first thing is, do you want to be in business? If you want to be in business, yes. What do you have to lose? I mean, coming through a course, we almost guarantee you that you'll make your money back in less than 3 months. Because everything that you're going to learn and everything that you're going to be accomplished or you're going to have to get for business, you'll make it back. That is more than guaranteed. As a matter of fact, that's the lowest guarantee that we could give you. So what do you have to lose? Just get it done, because as soon as you get it done, the sooner that you can grow as a business owner.
So, all right. My next question for you is, I told you that I own a property management company. Right?
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of real estate investors out there. So how would this all work for me? How would I benefit from growing my business credit and getting capital? I still can't wrap my head around it.
Sure. Okay, so coming also as a real estate investor. So this is how I started in business. I used to own real estate properties. I did a lot of wholesaling. I even owned some gas stations in the past. So I have a good understanding about owning business, creating business, the operations, or how to manage your properties. So something that I did learn is that, yes, you can get a lending from local hard money lenders for investors, but the cost of that is going to be very high. Also, it's going to be a short term, and you don't know what can happen with a property. So a property could go as planned, and you could start property, sell it within the amount of time that you actually allot yourself, 3, 6 months to a year, whatever the case is. But sometimes it may go even further. Sometimes that money will cost you even more. Now, by creating business credit, then you have the ability to have cash on hand by, using credit lines of credit. That will give you better terms, and you have the control of doing all of this. So one of the strategies that we are currently using is, we all hear that there's going to be a downtake on the market. But guess what? We're working on our businesses right now. There's 2 shell companies that we're working on and creating enough credit that if this happens, there is going to be a shopping spree in credit assassins, in which we're going to buy everything possible. And that's the ability that I'm telling you that you can have. If you have that on hand and you work prior to, instead of having, if you are proactive instead of being reactive, then you have the ability to create wealth. Because if this happened and the competition try to go by, they're gonna have to go to a third party to try to get some lending, prove themselves, show a portfolio, make sure that they could actually turn around and make it. While I know that I have the money, I just gotta go ahead. Here's my offer. I'll give it to you right now in the next 2 hours, $10,000 less, just for example. So you see the ability that I have to make some moves and create wealth in within hours.
Interesting. Okay. So, I'm a business owner. Maybe I've been in business for a year, 6 months. Maybe I've been in business 10 years and I know nothing about business credit, but I want to start building my business credit today. What's one thing that I can do right now to start building my business credit?
So the main thing that you could do your right now to start creating your business credit is called credit assassin.
I see what you did there.
Good shade. But and again, I see this often. A lot of business owners a lot of businesses are made on cash. And cash is king, and we know that. And they have a great cash flow, but cash can only take you so far. There's always going to be up and downs in the market. Sometimes the cash flow can run dry. Sometimes you may need the credit. And if a business owner is in the situation, I will implore you, even though that you may not need it right now, is make sure to plan ahead and make sure that you have all your ducks put together, because if it happens, it's better to be ready than become reactive at that time. Just create your business credit. Start developing your business credit. Become a stronger company. Why? Because let's just say, as a seasoned business owner, a lot of the time we want to be able to exit the business. And when I mean exit, it's not only selling the company. You may want to replace yourself with someone that can do your job, so that you can create some freedom for yourself. That's what we get in business, to be able to create freedom for ourselves and not have to be stuck to a 9 to 5. Now, as a business owner, if you ever want to exit and sell the property, having a strong credit for that company makes that company more valuable. Because not
So I
only
can
you
sell
have
my company for more depending on my business credit.
correct, having business credit, have a great cash flow and a great team, make your company high value. Thus, you could make a lot more money exiting out of that company.
Interesting. I had no idea. So, okay. So what,
This whiskey
are
is very good, by the way.
yeah, you know what? Real quick, break time.
Salud.
Salud. All right. So going into business credit here. So what are some deciding factors on whether or not my business can get approved for a loan, credit cards? What are people looking for, or banks looking for, when they're deciding if they want to approve me or not?
All right, so banks have an algorithm in which they dictate if your company meets what we call the compliance items of your business in order to qualify for a loan. So some of those is that your company needs to meet a business address. First of all, your company needs to be integrated, meaning that you need to have an entity filed with your state, with your Secretary of the State. And remember, it has to be an LLC, an S corp, or C corp. Never a sole proprietorship. Never sole prop. Now, once again, I'm not an attorney or a CPA, so I'll implore you to go ahead and consult with your attorney and your CPA in your state, because some of the laws and policies change from state to state. So I would like for you guys to really find out what's the best. Let's just say if you're trying to go into a trucking company, instead of S corp better than an LLC. Again, I don't know, and that's specific if you're from Iowa or New York. I do not know that, but what I tell you is that what I could tell you is those three entities. That's what creates business credit. Sole prop will not allow you to do that because it will be based on your personal credit. Now you need to be registered as an entity, as a business corporation or LLC. You also need to have what's called an EIN, an employee identification number, which is an equivalent to what we have in our personal side, a social security number. You need to have a business address. You need to have a phone number, business phone number. It cannot be a cell phone, a home number. The systems can actually evaluate and dictate if that's a personal number. So, so many things that you can do. There's VoIP systems out there, voice over the internet protocol, which will allow you to get a phone number that is over the internet that is registered as a business line.
I had no idea. So you're saying that
Mhm.
the fact that I'm using my personal cell phone for my business may stop me from getting approved for business loans?
A lot of banks will not want to see that, especially nowadays. You've seen that there's so many scammers. If you go to TikTok, there are people actually making videos messing with the scammers. And that's what happened. There's a lot of scamming companies out there. And what the banks wants to see is that you have a presence, that you are a legitimate business, a business phone, a business address. Don't get me wrong. 95% of all businesses that start either in a basement, in a garage, or in the extra closet that you have at home, which is fine. Do it. I applaud you for it. What you could do is get what's called a virtual address. Some of them is very inexpensive, up to $10 a month, which is very inexpensive. That will give you a business address, even though that you live from 123 Main Street.
Huh. Okay. And so using my personal address for my business, because, you know, hey, listen, I'm like most business owners out there. I do everything from home, right?
Yeah.
So that can stop me from getting approved. Using my personal cell phone number can stop me from getting approved for loans. That's nuts. I had no idea.
It can. Actually, especially when you go for loans and when you go for like government grants and loans, like SBA loans, that's a big no-no right there. A lot of companies, I'll tell you what's a big no-no, because I tried it in the past, and I'll tell you that I gotten disqualified now. Now tweak the system around, and I've learned how to actually overcome it, and I made it work. So that's one of those things. You may be able to actually work with some of the credit cards, depending on if you have a great relationship with the bank. So if you have a great relationship with some of the banks that you have created already, for example, when I first started one of my businesses, had a great relationship with American Express, and I was a 17-year member with them with my personal cards. So when I came to my business, I gave it, not knowing, I gave him my home address, and they still approved me. So I knew now that, hey, they have a relationship, and starting what they do and how they do, that's what they go by. They go by the relationship that you create with them, and not specifically by a lot of other compliance items. But at the end of the day, it's better to have it, because if you start applying for loans as a business and you can start getting disqualified, this is an indicative that other banks will disqualify you just because of that prior disqualification.
Huh. Okay. So you know, Carlos, my next question here, just like a lot of business, hey, yeah, let's go. You know, you're talking about big no-nos. A big no-no is that water on funding and whiskey. What are you doing?
You know what? As I talk with the whiskey, I get cotton mouth, so I don't want to. I want to keep talking. So
There's water in whiskey, I'm pretty sure. So,
okay.
so listen, Carlos. You know, as business owners out there, if they're anything like the majority of business owners that I know, they're always crazy busy, right? So, you know, for me, I don't want to spend the time to do all this research, to look up how to build my business credit, I don't have that time, right? So what kind of options are there for me?
Okay, so and I get it. I mean, in order for you to research, you need to have some type of passion. Like, I wouldn't want to actually start a trucking company, do all the research. I have no love for it. And if I ever acquire trucking companies, because somebody else is in charge and I'm just the investor that I put the money on. But I get it. So our company, so we have done a lot of research, and we still continue to do research, combined with all of our coaches, mentors, and all of our staff. We have more than 100,000 hours in research, and we continue doing it. So we created an extensive software in which we put the blueprint step by step. And guess what? You don't have to do this yourself. We have certified coaches that will work with you. Certified coaches that will work with you at least twice a week to walk you through every step and identify what's wrong so we can fix it and make sure that we get the funding that you need and your company needs in record time. So I believe from the bottom of my heart that that's the best option out there.
All right, so I love it.
And you gotta see when I say the smiley, the little diamond coming out.
So Carlos, right? I'm a business owner, let's say, and I have terrible personal credit. All right, This is hypothetical because I care about myself, and that shows on my personal credit report. But
Got it.
let's say that, you know, I made some mistakes in the past, and hey, listen, everybody makes mistakes. I have terrible personal credit.
Got it.
Am I a lost cause for business credit?
No, you're not. Because you got to think about, as long as you lay the foundation. Now, some of the things that I want to tell you from the get-go is we need to be honest. We need to be honest with you. And if you want, and we hear it a lot, and sometimes it's the information is harsh, but we want to make sure that you understand from the beginning so that you can make clear expectations and a work plan so you could get what you need. If you have a terrible credit, good, not a problem. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. We need to start working on your credit, and what we could do, we could have aids that can help you out within our system. Not only we work for your personal credit, but we have a blueprint, and this is how it started. We have a blueprint, and now I give it as a bonus. That's usually a $1,400 system that we give it as free as a bonus for all of our clients. But you can start working on it. But at the end of the day, the goal here is for you to start separating yourself from the business. Because at the end of the day, you are a business owner, not a job owner. Business owner, not a job owner. You didn't buy a job. You bought into a business, or you created a business, right? So you want to develop that business credit. Because if tomorrow you say, you know what, I want to pick up and go to Costa Rica, and that's it, I'm going to sell this business. You want to sell that business not with yourself, because you want to be away. You want to sell that business with the credit. So you need to start separating yourself from that. Start creating that business credit. Doesn't matter if you're in the 500s. Build that business credit. It should take you between 60 days to 90 days the most for you to start getting some good credit cards, some good lines of credit, and you can continue making it stronger and stronger as the months go by. And again, this is something that is ongoing. It's consistent, but we could work with you and within 3 months and get some results.
Okay. And you said something key there. We started talking about some business credit cards. So
yeah.
That's where I want to go next, Carlos. So, I own my own business. There's tons of business credit cards out there. What should I be applying for?
Okay, so what should you be applying for? Now, let's just say that if at the beginning of your business you want to start applying for credit cards, you have that option. There's something called the UBF, unsecured business financing. And depending on your personal credit, let's just say if it's 680 and above, if the utilization less than 30%, how many accounts have you gotten in the past 12 months? Do you have any late payments, any collections? All these little things go into consideration in order for us to qualify you, because as I said, remember that you will always be a PG, a personal guarantor, when you first start your business. Now, the goal is to separate you from that, and you need to be that back end. You need to be that person that if your business defaults, guess what? They want to make sure that there's some type of collateral, and that collateral is you. So they want to make sure that you have at least some good credit that you could support. Now, some of the best credit cards that I've seen and that I try myself is you should go for American Express. American Express, as long as you have a great relationship with them, you could get it. Another one that I'll tell you to go for is one of the best credit unions in the United States, which is Navy Federal. Now, if you are not a military member, or if you have some type of affiliation with a military member, then you're allowed to get an account, or you're allowed to open an account. If you're not, then that will be one of those that, yes, it's not a good fit for you. But Chase works with you. Chase at the beginning. So one of the things that Chase has is called the 524 rule. Something you have to keep in mind: if you've gotten more than 5 accounts in the past 24 months, then they will not play a game with you.
And that's for business credit cards too?
Yes, because you are a PG for that business. Unfortunately, you are PG for that business. Let's just say, for example, right now, my checking account for the business that we own is with Chase. And remember what I said before: 838, no credit, no increase, 4% utilization, 65 credit cards. Chase will not render a credit line increase on none of my business credit cards, which is outrageous, but it's the rules. It's not the common. So my situation is not the common, because if you see someone getting so many open accounts, for the most part, it's because they're strapped with money and they don't know what to do, and they're living out of the
right.
credit.
It's a financial risk.
Correct. So it's financial risk. So it is a rule, and it's a black and white rule. So you just got to learn the rule, and work around it. So, and within the course too, we have something called the Remastered Secrets Lenders List that gives you not only a blueprint of all the credit cards out there. Now it gives you the credit score needed for that creditor, but also the bureau that they pull from. And this is what you want to do if you pull it from your personal side. Now, if you pull it from your personal side, and it gives you, you see which credit bureau is the best one that you're actually working with, or which one has the highest credit score for you, so that you could go with that. Now, for business, it's a little different because there's no secret on that. It's just a black and white. They want to make sure that you have some type of credit or credit score for that business, and they need to be in all four credit reports. In this case, you have in the business side, you have what's called Experian, Equifax, just like in the personal side, but there's two more players, which is Dun and Bradstreet and CreditSafe.
So, we're on the subject of credit cards. What are better, right? So, are personal credit cards better than business? What's up with that?
Well, they're about the same, but they won't take you the same place. Um, Business credit card you can max out your business credit cards, and it will not affect your business credit score. What affects your business credit score is the ability of you paying your bills on time. Now, if you do that in the personal side, your credit score will take a dip. The more you go up in credit utilization, the more your credit score goes down. So, yes, they're about the same, but the way you use them is different. And if I have to tell you, use your business, especially if you are using or created a business from home. There's a lot of the things that you could use from your house, the light, the whiskey that you use for in order to create. This is a business expense. Everything, and what I'm talking about is everything that you're doing. If you have a business from home, there's a lot of things. But again, talk to your CPA because they could give you the set rules per the IRS and what you could do and how much you can use. But again, if you're talking about business, I would say use your business only, and then just use your personal for emergencies.
So, are all business credit cards alike? I mean, meaning, do they all report to the same bureaus, or what's going on with that?
All right, so something you got to keep in mind is when you're talking about credit cards and business loans and so on, we always talking about your EIN. And when your EIN is reported, it's reported to the same credit bureaus. It's reported to mainly Experian and Equifax. Now, when we're talking about B2B business, so net 30s, credit lines, and so on, they reported mainly to CreditSafe and Dun and Bradstreet. So yes, they report to pretty much every one of them. The difference between a lot of these credit cards, some of them may give you rewards, some of them may give you some perks, some of them may give you a higher credit card or an increase or credit line, and some of them may work with you specifically for the industry that you are in and the credit line that they can give
you. Okay, got it. So, which ones have higher limits? So, personal or business?
Oh, business. Like I have more business credit available than what I have in my personal. Let me just give you an example. If you guys ever heard of a black card, the black American.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's usually it's for business. Yeah, you may see in the personal side. That's for people who don't have personal or businesses. But if you are rich and you are able to actually spend that much money, but for the most part, what the black card is an invitation only type of card. So in this case, like I have a gold card, and what I do is I use it for expenditures. The more I use, the more that they keep increasing my allowable usage to that card. Eventually, if you get over like $500,000, $800,000 to close to $1 million in use in a year, they will invite you to be able to apply and get the black card, which not all the personal type of cards have. So if I say there's a lot more perks in using business, because at the end of the day, the way that you spend in your business is a lot higher than any expenditures that you have at home. There's no reason for you to buy $20,000 in produce and food at home or light because it's crazy. I mean, you gotta have a battalion that you're feeding over there. But in your business, you could do it all day. Marketing can go that way. Payroll could go that way. So it helps you in the long run by using all these things. So if you get any type of business credit cards, I would say, and what you need to figure out is how the procedures and your operations are going to go. Try to get any type of credit cards that will give you any type of rewards or cash back. Because if you give you cash back, you can pay towards the credit card, and guess what? Not have to pay much of what you have or what you use. Or if you get rewards, one of the best rewards out there is travel rewards. Get free travel anywhere you go, from hotels to airfare, because you, no matter what, you're still using this credit card for business. And
And I've got a question about that, Carlos.
I was about to answer that question. Go ahead.
So let's say that I'm using my business credit cards, right? And I've accrued a couple of $1,000s in rewards, right? Do I have to pay taxes on that?
No.
Oh, let's go. Everything's
That's a game changer right there. Why? Because that reward is not income, and you only pay tax on an income. So you just got 20,000.
Let's go. All right. So, and I know you've already said this, right? So you've told us some of like the best credit cards to get. So as somebody who's starting to build their business credit, what is your top number one card that I should apply for?
Okay, so the easiest one that I'll say you should go. So the easiest one, and the one that you should apply first. Not the easiest one, but the one that you should apply first, because after you start applying and getting more inquiries, you may not get it. Go for a check or a Chase business card. They call the signature cards. So you get one there, and if you start with that, then go to American Express. American Express, as long as you have one with them and you've been a great customer, they guarantee they'll give you a business card. No questions asked. Actually, I remember when I first started, even Credit Assassins. When I first started Credit Assassins, they didn't even pull my business or my credit score, my personal or my business credit score. They saw that I had a relationship and had 4 credit cards prior with that. And they just gave me the Amazon rewards card, and they also gave me the gold card. And then I have to apply for the other ones, but I didn't get an inquiry or a credit pull from those. It was a soft pull. So that's my advice. Go with Chase and then American Express.
So why Chase first?
Because you may not be able to get it again. If you apply for more than one, remember 524, and it's a great credit card. It could go on. I mean, they could start you with $20,000 off the bat. So that's a great, and that's how I started, 25,000. Then I was able to increase it to like 25, and that's why I stopped, because I couldn't get any more. So I was getting so many other credit cards, and they wouldn't give me a credit line increase, which was fine. But I had different business with Chase, and that's the crazy thing is, like, even though that you've been a great client with Chase, they still have the black and white rules. So we have about 4 different business with Chase. Personal accounts, I would say probably between 7 to 8 different accounts with the credit cards and personal savings and checkings. And even though they will still not give you a credit line increase on any of the accounts because of the 524 rule.
Interesting.
Black and white.
So, we've talked about credit cards. We've talked about a little of, a few other funding sources that are available to business owners.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the source here, man. Where should I bank as a business owner?
The best place that you should bank, and again, this goes regional and this goes state. But if I would need to open a new account, depending on where you are in the country, I would say they start with Bank of America or Chase. Why Bank of America? Bank of America is very friendly when it comes down to like TLC trucking companies. They have great lending for vehicles, especially if you are having a business, a transportation business, or trucking business. Now, they are all their different little banks, regional banks that are there. So I would say make sure that you do your research. But if I would have to advise you, want to go with one of the big corporations, you would go with Chase or Bank of America.
Okay. So, kind of getting away from the banking. Thank you for that, by the way.
Awesome.
I see a lot of other businesses out there, right, that offer their clients funding. Hey, I can get you up to X amount in funding using credit card stacking.
Got it.
What is that?
Well, credit card stacking is just using your personal credit to be able to get different type of credit cards from different places and stack it on top. So credit card stacking meaning that they're gonna get you a lot of business, personal credit card and business credit card. Something that you have to keep in mind is at the beginning when they do this can be a soft pull, but when they get you the cards, you may end up with 8 to 9 to 12 to 13 different inquiries in your credit report. Keep in mind that that's going to affect your personal credit a lot. Because anytime that you get qualified for a credit card, a loan, or any type of credit pull that they do, you may lose between 1 to 2 points from your on personal credit. But you get disqualified, you may lose between 3 to 5. So make the math. This is what I call that credit card stacking. I call the dealership or the car dealership tactic.
Right, when they knock on your credit when you go out to buy.
Correct. Yeah. Because when you go to buy a car, the first thing that they do, they want you to get out of that place with a vehicle. So while you stay over there drinking that coffee, something on that lollipop, whatever they give you, the popcorn, they're just running your credit back to back, back to back. They don't care. And they're running one time or 15 times. You're getting out of there with some type of lending in a vehicle. And that's the job. I get it. There's a salesman. That's why people have a lot of bad connotation with salesmen, because at the end of the day, you will get a vehicle, but a week later, 2 weeks later, you're going to end up pissed off with your credit score. You took a big dip just because you got a new Corolla. So my goal, okay, so and a little advice on that is, if you're ever going to go get a vehicle, go to your local credit union, to your bank, get pre-approved, and take that money over there, take that check and say, you have $33,000. That is your budget. Now you have more purchasing power to get that vehicle. If the vehicle was at $35,000, $33,000, because that's money in hand, and I guarantee you that you may be able to get that vehicle for $33,000. Again, let's go back to the question. What was the question? You see, I'm telling you, I go script.
It's that whole whiskey part of the funding, right? So
I used love to talk about credit when I drink.
No. You answered the question. It was about credit card stacking, and basically you're saying that it's not a great choice.
Yeah.
So
it's not a great choice. Sometimes it may be a choice. So something that I gotta tell you is, we can help you get those inquiries off. I just gotta say it that way, but we can help you get those inquiries off. We could help you with a credit card stacking. But a lot of the other companies, so what we've seen some of our competitors is that they use it. So they give you this amount of money. Good, not a problem. They could do that. We can do that too. But also what I want to make sure is that you also ask, educate yourself. How do you do this? What is the process? What happened once I get it? Do you guys help me to get this inquiries off? And when I used it, because sometimes you need $60,000 for whatever, and you use $60,000 for whatever. And by using $60,000 for whatever, that means that your credit score is going to take a big dip. Remember about the 30% utilization?
Right.
So keep that in mind. So if you need $60,000, the goal is for $60,000 to be at 30% or whatever you're going to get. So that's the goal. Always, whatever you get, make sure that you only are needing or in need of use 30% of that. Because if you use the whole amount, just know that your credit score not only going to take a dip because all the inquiries that you get, but because all of the credit lines that you just use.
Right. And then on top of that, you'd have to pay the interest amount when you max out those cards.
Correct. Now, so some of them, and I gotta say, some of them are good, and we could get those. Some of them we go between 0% for 12 to 18 months. After that, it is a big steep. Actually, we had a client that we helped out. Unfortunately, you see the situation that I said to you, he went into a company that needed some mentorship, and then he got $80,000, just $80,000. And he needed $80,000 to get with this company. And he used $80,000. He went from the 800 to the low 600s. And then he tell him about all the credit inquiries. Even though when he wanted to get new credit, he couldn't because he has so many new inquiries on the past 4 months. So what happened is now he couldn't get anything else. He couldn't even refinance that. So that's what I'm trying to make sure that you actually get it.
Okay. So I think I got what you're laying down. Yeah. So, we've been over a bunch of different funding options. I'm a business. How long do I really need to be in business for to start getting funded?
Okay, so how long do you need to be in business for to start getting funding? So if you incorporated the day yesterday, you could start today to start getting business funding. Now, yes, you can.
So I
So
don't have to be in business for like 10 years to start getting funded.
no, you don't have to. You need to start laying certain things on place, foundations, compliance items. Remember what we say, compliance items. So look, we're in our podcast today, but once we finish, I'm also going to put at the end of this a link that you could get a free business success camp. Find out what your compliance items are so that you know if you can get lending right now or if you need help. Find out. It's free of charge. Just use it. It's free. So as long as you're meeting the compliance item, then you can start taking and getting all these net 30s that are still going to give you some credit. For example, you could go to a company that we all know and a lot of people in business know. It's called Quill. If you need toilet paper for your home, you can get toilet paper from them and wait 30 days to pay the toilet paper. So it's just little things that you could get credit. But this is the minimum things that you could do in order to start building. This is why we need between 30 to 60 days so you start building that business credit for you who can start getting then these credit cards and so on. Now, if you started your business yesterday and you have a great credit score, 680, 700 and above, and you meet all the qualifications, like I said, 30% or less, no more than 6 inquiries in the past 4 months, then we can also get what's called the UBF, which is unsecured business financing. And that could get you going. That could be a starting capital for you to start your operation. And that 20, 30, $40,000 could last you for the next 4 months. But remember, we only need 90 days for us to start getting you more lending.
Wow, that's crazy. I thought I needed to be in business for,
Yeah.
4 or 5 years.
Uh,
So, yeah, blow my mind here, Carlos.
yeah, no, it's just amazing the way that you could work the system, but at the same time, you need to be consistent at it. You need to be consistent about putting the little things every single day. And this is why we have coaches, because I understand that you don't know this. I understand that you may not. I mean, business credit is completely different than personal credit. If you know personal credit, I guarantee you that you probably don't know business credit. If you don't know personal credit, I also guarantee you that you don't know anything about business credit. So we have certified coaches, and all our coaches are prior bankers. They could work with you and tell you specifically what you need to do step by step in order for you to start meeting that credit worthiness that you need.
Huh. All right. So now I talk to plenty of businesses. I know a lot of different
Yeah.
business owners out there. And most of the business owners that I talk to are funding their business using their personal credit. Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? How do you feel about that?
That's what we call bootstrapping. And while I feel my crop, yeah, it's called bootstrapping.
Oh, I will join you.
All right, so it's called bootstrapping, and again, we all do it. I get it. That's the first common theme that we see, and like I said, it is not a bad thing, but you should do it better. You got to start from somewhere, and if you're hearing this today, if you're listening to what we're laying down, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, you know what I mean. You should start working on your business credit, even though if you know that you are about to start a business 6 months down the line. Just start the entity today and start putting the pieces together. So when you're ready to actually start that business, you don't have to deal with your own personal credit. Or you have the foundation needed, the 4 legs, what we call, of what your business needs in order to start getting that lending. You pick up running and you don't have to crawl.
Mm. So, I heard this out there, out in the ether,
Yeah.
that if you use your personal credit to
Yeah.
fund your business, and let's say, for me, right, I own investment properties, I have tenants. So I heard that if I use my personal credit to cover expenses and my tenant decides to sue me because I'm using my personal credit, they can actually take everything business and personal. Is there any truth to that?
So in a way, yes. Now, depending, especially if you're a real estate investor, there's so many ways that you can protect yourself. First thing I tell you is never, if you have an investment on property, and this is coming from a real estate investor, never put a property solely in your name. I understand that you're gonna have a loan, a mortgage in your name, but always have an LLC specifically for that property. If you bought property today, 1, 2, 3 LLC. If your property tomorrow, 4, 5, 6 LLC. Do that because that could cover you. Now, yes, you should separate your personal from your business. But I mean, we all understand that at the beginning, there's no business credit. That's just personal credit. What you need to do is make sure that as soon as you are able to separate that or your personal credit from your business credit, do so. Because the sooner you do it, the more that you have, more wiggle room that you have to cover yourself, to protect yourself, to entrust yourself with the legalities that are needed, especially as a real estate investor or as a business owner. So the sooner that you can do it, yes. But to answer your question, yes, that is also true. But there's so many ways that you can still protect yourself legally that if you don't take the advice, remember, don't take my advice only, don't take my words as gospel. Consult with your attorney and your CPA. Always ask this question: how can I protect myself? And they should be able to tell you. If they don't tell you, then you have the ability to go back and sue them. Again, it's entirely up to you.
So Carlos, man, you're a wise guy. I can tell that you know what you're talking about with business credit. But ultimately, if I'm trying to find somebody to work with to help my business acquire funding, why should I work with you?
Okay, so you should work with us because we are going to provide you with not the ultimate service, but we're going to be with you from point A to point Z. Okay, we're going to go through the whole process. There's so many companies out there, and they could do great by you. But something that we could tell you about our company is not only we do this ethically, we want to make sure that we help you get to the goal that you are looking for. But we provide everything that they do together. You can compare, and I would challenge each one of you to compare what we have with what they have. I'm very confident because I did it myself. I approve it, and I wanted to make sure that everything that they offer, we offer it and we put them all together. If you put all my competitors together, you will have everything that the 360 Business Vantage will offer you. And guess what? For a lesser price. I want to make sure that we give back to the community. Like I said, I come from a military background. I want to do not only self-service, we are here for business, but I want to make sure that you invest in yourself. Because if you get this for free, you will not do it. You need to invest in yourself. You need to appreciate what you are putting in order for you to become successful. And I want to make sure that you are successful. That's our goal. For Credit Assassins and the 360 Business Vantage, we want to make sure that you get to where you want to go and create generational wealth, not only for you, but your family as well.
Love it. Hey, Carlos, man, you sold me. Hey, thank you so much for your time this evening. Killer job. And you said this is a business expense, right?
It is a business expense.
Perfect. I'll send you an invoice.
I mean, have you? Okay, business expense.
Here's the business expenses. Let's go.
All right, guys. So thank you for everything. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you for being here. You know what? We are going to continue this series going forward every week. We're going to be bringing some new leaders in the industries and the industry that you are working with, truckers, business, real estate investors. I mean, every business available. Now, if you have any comment, you have any suggestions, please let us know. We will do our research. We'll bring someone that can definitely help you out. And we want to make sure that they understand how they can help you, how they've been able to be successful in their business, but also how we can help your industry and everything that we do. So, hey guys, thank you for your time. This is going to go into every social media. I appreciate your time. Make sure that it was the first time on our channel. Make sure you subscribe, click on the bell icon, click on all so that you'll be notified every time that we post a new content. And give it a thumbs up because this is going to go viral. See you soon. This is Carlos, the Credit Assassin, and Brock, he's the Credit Sniper. See you soon.
Oh.
I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. I tell you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing. Got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them?